Hey everybody, it's Jason Baha here, and today I didn't do much. It's a Bulgarian workout. I filmed it, but it was just one of those days where, and I'll get to it in a minute, I just didn't feel like doing more than just my basic minimums, and I came in and only did 2 lifts today. I went to set up to do rows and other stuff, and I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do it. The lifts were pretty good though. I did my 455 squat, my daily minimum. I did my 320 bench, and they felt a little heavy, but when I go to look at it, that's not really what happened. That's not what happened at all. Like the squat, when we get to the squat here, it looked pretty good on camera. One of the things I noticed on it though, and this is going to get to the point of needing a day where I only come in and do this. And now keep in mind, there are people on this system of training who would actually have no problem with just doing what I did as a normal workout. For me, it feels a little bit underwhelming because I'm just used to doing other stuff behind it. But with the squat, the lift was really fast. The lift was really fast. The thing is though, my lower back felt fatigued from the deadlifting yesterday. It felt fatigued. My hamstrings felt fatigued. Like actually Brittany massaged them for me when I woke up this morning. She kind of massaged my hamstrings, massaged my spinal erectors, all of that before I ate my breakfast. Because again, they were just feeling fatigued. But when we get to the squat, let's notice what happens there. It's actually pretty interesting because I felt like I had a little bit more forward lean than I'm comfortable with. And again, people need to understand my lower back is still staying at 45 degrees, but it almost went below that. I felt like my hips and my glutes almost overpowered me, and I almost got ahead of myself a little bit, which tells me again, I need to get that back stronger. Keep my back strong. Do more rows, everything else. But I think because this was, watch what happens here. When I timed this on the timer, it took me 0.2 seconds to get from the bottom to 45 degrees on my thighs. So the first half of the squat was 0.2 seconds. The second half was a little over a second. That was actually a really fast squat. We'll go to that again when I start looping it back through to finish the video. But it was a 1.5 second concentric. Even though it felt off to me a little bit, it felt off. It felt, again, almost like my hip drive overpowered me. That's what it felt like. It was fast. And again, I've got to wonder, does it matter that much? I mean, when a concentric rep is that fast and you lock it that hard, when you have a squat that is 1.5 seconds from the bottom to the top and you're going to depth, I don't think we can say that's necessarily bad. I just had that much speed going that I powered it so hard out of the hole that my upper body almost didn't keep up. Now, again, lets me know I've got some weaknesses to work on. Bench press, felt a little heavy today. I went with my 320. And the ramp up felt okay. Didn't feel particularly heavy. As far as the bench goes, I'd put this one around a RPE 9 today. RPE 9, I'm easily at 90% effort because it was a little slow. It wasn't like a grinder, but it was slow for me. And so I know I'm pretty well at my limits. And if I had gone 10 pounds heavier, it would have been a grinder. It would have definitely been a grinder. And like I said on the bench, I'm not that worried about it. If I could add 5 pounds to my daily minimum on my bench every month, and honestly, I was at 305 for my daily minimum just 3 weeks ago. I mean, if I could add 5 pounds a month to my daily minimum the rest of the year, that would put me at something like, what, a 355 bench every day for my daily minimum. I'll be at 42 at the end of the year. For a 42-year-old man, I don't think that's shabby. I'll take that. Like I said, the goal is only to get to about 400, 405. That's my long-term goal. And I want to do that before I turn 45. So 42 at the end of the year. I mean, God, if I could get to the 350 this year, and then over the course of 2 years, 3 years, add another 50 pounds, I'll be at my goal, right? So it's all good. But yeah, I mean, this one, it was a little slow at 320 today. I'm not super happy with it because it felt a little slow. it felt a little grindy, but when I look at it on camera, it really wasn't that bad. And that's kind of an interesting thing when you video yourself. You learn a lot by videoing yourself. And with me videoing every one of these peak sets, doing 6 workouts a week, it really lets me see a lot of what's going on. Lets me see a lot. And I think a lot of it, I'm really not using any technique to bench either. I'm just building my base strength. The reason my floor press and my bench tend to be so close together right now, notice I don't really use leg drive. There's no leg drive going. I'm just benching. I'm not using a massive arch. I'm using a little bit of an arch, but it's not massive. So just a little bit of arch, I'm just straight pressing it from a dead stop. And it makes it a little harder. So, I mean, that's kind of the interesting thing, too, is that I can look at this and say, okay, what happens when we get to 350, 360 if I'm still doing this? What happens when I start incorporating a leg drive? Right? What happens when we start incorporating leg drive? I'll probably start getting to my goal a lot faster, working on all that technique and everything. I find with the height of this bench, though, I can't get tight like I'd like to on this bench for some reason, and I don't know why that is. I'm not sure why that is, but I just can't dig in the way that I really would like to. So it's okay, though. I'll live with it. But back to the other point about soreness. I've felt fatigued today. My lower back is really fatigued. I noticed my lower back was starting to cramp a little bit, probably about 30 minutes after I finished benching. So I'd already squatted at my benching. I've noticed I was really fatigued there. I'll take a nice hot bath. I'll probably take another one here later tonight. And I'm just going to be lazy. I'm going to relax. I'm going to recover so that I can actually hit some decent lifts tomorrow. I'm trying to get plenty of protein in, plenty of carbs, quality food. Trying to get hydrated. I want to make sure I'm getting hydrated, that's not an issue, that I'm not getting dehydrated here. And try to get a really good night's sleep tonight. And I'm just going to stop here. I might do like some, some curls or something. I don't know. Maybe some light snatches here later. And, just to throw something else in, or I might not. I might just lay around and say, you know what, I hit my daily minimums. They were strong. The squat was really fast. It felt like it almost got away from me. It got a little squirrely, but it was fast. Like, I already know my 460 next week is going to happen. I think probably around Monday, because usually Sunday I almost deload my squats. I have like Sundays sometimes where I only do a pause squat with 375, like a nice 3 count at the bottom, and then call it quits, and maybe a little GPP work. And so Sundays tend to be my lightest day, because most of the other days I'm coming and hitting multiple exercises real heavy. So a lot of times on Sunday, depending on how I feel, that's what I do. And since I won't do any deadlifting or back work or anything else, I'll be nice and fresh come Monday. Throw another 5 pounds on. I think we'll get our 360 Monday, and then all next week we'll do our 460, and then go from there. But for today, I just feel like I need the extra recovery. I've been doing all this extra stuff. I've been throwing in that extra volume. I'm starting to feel doing that little bit of volume on the deadlifts after all my other heavy work. I'm starting to feel it. And I just feel like I need a little bit more of a recovery day, and it's not that the lifts weren't strong. The lifts were good today, and they still contribute to my overall training. I just didn't feel like doing more. Like I was going to do rows and all that. I'm like, I'm just not going to do it. In fact, I'm not going to deadlift again the rest of this week. I want to be fully recovered come Monday so that I can smash some PRs maybe, smash some PRs, get the numbers up. So we're just going to finish out the training week. I might chin tomorrow. I'll probably do some rows on Saturday. I'll probably do some power snatches and stuff most days. In fact, tomorrow I might go ahead and overhead press and chin if everything's feeling good, because I think a good night's sleep, I can come in and I can hit a peak single on 4 different lifts. That's the beauty of it when I occasionally take a day like this, because it feels like nothing to me anymore. It literally feels like I didn't train when I take a day like this, that I feel it's invigorated the next day. And so I can come in and hammer a few different lifts and do pretty good. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'll just play it by feel. We'll just get under the bar and see what happens. And that's the thing, guys. If you're going to run a Bulgarian system like this, there's going to be days where you're going to come in and do your 1 or 2 lifts, your bare minimum. Your bare minimum, and say, you know what, that's it, I'm done for the day. And there's going to be other days where you want to do 5 sets of deadlifts after and do a heavy chin up and everything else. And so, power snatches and all that. But you're going to have to base it around your individual recovery. And my body is telling me today, chill my jets a little bit. It's been a real good training week. Take a half a breather today. We hit a good squat and a good bench. It's good enough. We'll hit a little harder tomorrow. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.